Here we have Buckeye Red, also known as Gary, and I love calling him Gary. I think that's such a cute name for him. So, Gary was first up this morning, and he actually ended up being the only horse that I actually rode because the wind today was just so out of control. It's like gale force winds all day. And it turned out that Gary was the only one that I thought really could handle it. So, good job, Gary. You were a star. So he was definitely a little bit more tense than his norm when we came out because literally, I mean, the wind was like blowing up sandstorms and it was just crazy. But of course, he was still good to get on. Head up a little bit because of all the blustering going on, and my dad was doing something with the tractor off behind the shed row barn that you can't see but you can hear. So it probably took him a minute or two to sort of like relax a little bit and get his brain on me and inside the ring versus everything that was going on outside the ring, but all totally within the realm of completely appropriate and nothing crazy. Just really showed off what a great brain he has today handling all of that. So we started to the left. I actually think his better direction is the right, but he is more used to turning to the left, so we started the way that he would prefer to start. This whole ride was literally less than 10 minutes. I mean, he was really good. We just got on, busted it out, and called it a day. So then we went to the right and we trotted around for a minute or two. He felt good. Here I'm just asking him to sort of, he's looking off at whatever's happening with the tractor in the distance. So there I'm just sort of trying to remind him to keep at least half his brain on me. Good boy. And so there's better. So I gave him a scratch because he feels like he's starting to come around to the right, bend a little bit, soften a little bit at the base of his neck. Some horses hate getting scratched on the neck. Gary likes it though. So I asked him to canter to the right first today because that is his easier direction, and he really wanted to pick up the right lead the last time I rode him. But today's a new day, and he wanted to pick up the left lead. So then I thought maybe we could be really cool and just come across the diagonal in our left lead, but we came back to a trot, which is totally fine. And then I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, he really made a fool out of me because then we changed to the left and I asked him to canter, and I think he picks up the right lead here, which is sort of hilarious. Horses have a funny way of making liars out of us. But again, I don't ever like to. I know I talked about this with Tamarak's video last time. If they do a nice transition and they're in a balanced canter, I don't like to jerk them right back to the trot. I don't want to make them think that. I don't want to make them anxious or add any tension. So I let him canter around the corner, and he did a beautiful counter canter around the corner. So we came back to the trot. I asked again, and then he did pick up the left, which was very good of him. And then you'll see as we come down the long sides, he just sort of wants to lean on that left shoulder and fall to the inside a little bit. He's much better around the corners where you can sort of use the shape of the corner to help you find the shape you want in his body. And later at the end of the ride, I finally had the brilliant idea of just riding him on a 20-meter circle to the left, and that really was his best left canter work that he's done yet. I don't know why it took me a couple of minutes to realize that that's the thing I should have been doing. So anyway, then we went to the right. He has a great canter to the right. He's much straighter. And you kind of just get to sit there and enjoy the right canter. He's quite autopilot to the right. So then I thought, okay, the right's really good, as it was the last time, but I wasn't happy with how I felt like I just didn't get him off my left leg at all. So I wanted to go back to the left one more time. I was happy with him for picking up his left lead there coming out of the corner, so I gave him some big pats. So then we came down this long side, and as he did before, he was leaning on that left shoulder. You can see that. I'm kicking with my inside leg, playing with my left rein. And so then finally, I have a good idea to put him on a 20-meter circle down here. And then that just helps immensely. So then all of a sudden, he's happy to sort of give a little bit in his rib cage around my inside leg. And this is much better left lead work. And then we called it with that. He was a really good boy. Always happy to whoa whenever you want him to.